we are going to discuss a debut that took place on NXT and give our reaction. One, Mr. Ricky Starks coming through the crowd and pretty much saying, "You all know who I am. You wondered when the revolution was going to be televised once again. Well, I'm here, aren't I?" WWE have said he's here. On social media, they've said he's here, but they've not named him by name. First off, though, before we discuss if he's going to be Ricky Starks or not, the initial reaction of seeing him in NXT, because he was only announced of being off the AEW roster page about 24 hours before making his NXT debut. NXT, your thoughts of Ricky Starks in NXT?
I am both loving it and hating it for specific reasons. I love it because it's a case of literally, like you said, less than, I think it was like 36 hours, I think was the terminology, but between him leaving AEW, he's debuting in NXT, and I think that's great. My problem is the reaction he got to a half-assed PC crowd, and I think if they'd have done it at the weekend at Vengeance Day, the pop would have been bigger. And I think that's my biggest problem, is like, everyone loves him, but there's a guy in the segment who's just sitting down and honestly doesn't care that it's Ricky Starks. And I'm like, and he's like 4 foot away from Ricky Starks, and I'm like, this has been done so wrong, because you've got the wrong reaction from certain people, because performance center crowd is performance center crowd, but if you've got an arena full of people who know who Ricky Starks is, this would have gone over so much better at Vengeance Day. But like I said, the fact that it's a short period of time and it's the next day, absolutely love it, man.
Kyle, your thoughts?
Yeah, no, to go off what NXT Steve is saying, that's why I like that NXT has started to travel and do shows elsewhere in bigger venues, because it seems like, the crowd that they typically are filming in front of has off nights, and last night was definitely an off night for them. And in my personal experience, I've been to plenty of WWE events over the past 5 years. Majority of the people that are paying money to go to WWE events are WWE fans only. They are casuals, as I like to call them. So it's not that surprising that Ricky got kind of a subdued reaction, but going off of all that, it's the fact that he showed up, like you said, in less than 48 hours from being released and let go from his AEW contract is crazy in itself, because usually they'll give you some time to breathe. No, the food wasn't even getting cooled off out of the microwave here. It was still hot off the press. Ricky Starks in NXT, which I think is a brilliant starting point for him. I think if he goes to the main roster, he gets lost into the shuffle right away. NXT, we've talked about it tonight, needs a lot of star power, specifically in the men's division. Ricky Starks immediately adds star power to that men's division, and I'm excited to see what he can bring to the Black and Gold brand.
The reason they said they've put him on NXT is because Mania's basically set, and for that reason exactly is why they've put him on NXT. And it makes total sense, man. The name thing, I think this is, again, I'm loving it and hating it, because the guy has an established name, which you should be playing off of. Like, you've had Penta come in, you've had Ethan Page come in, all have brought their name over. Why doesn't Ricky Starks get that name? And, like, I know obviously it's kind of like, I don't know if you want to separate him from his AEW run by giving him a new name, but he has an established name.
Maybe he wants a fresh start. Maybe it could be him. It can be WWE as well. We don't know the legit. He may still be Ricky Starks. We don't know. They might be just teasing us at this point, because I think that's something that everyone's just reacted by seeing he, and they're like, hang on, they've not said Ricky, they've not said Starks. What are you doing? Are you going to take the name away? And we may be all massively overreacting. But the thing I really liked that was said a minute ago was the fact of, adding stock to the men's division in NXT, because he adds that in so many leaps and bounds, because, who fills the shoes of Trick Williams when he goes to probably Raw or SmackDown after the next WWE draft, which is after WrestleMania? Ricky Starks. Ricky Starks fits in, but Eddie Thorpe could be the guy that he could be feuding with Ricky Starks, maybe at Stand and Deliver, or maybe afterwards. But yeah, at the same time, it'll be interesting to see what's going to go down. But yeah, the absolute one is certainly there, and I think he's going to be taking names in NXT. And I agree with Kyle saying that this particular Raw and SmackDown, I don't know exactly where he fits in at this point. Of course, he can fit in the mid-card scene. He can have his way promo TV time, but I think he's going to feel like a bigger deal in the short term in WWE in NXT to start off with, because even if it's a hot run for like 6 months with the NXT Championship or North American Championship, he builds name in the value under the WWE brand, because like you said, not everybody is hardcore, knows what's going on in AEW, TNA, elsewhere. They know WWE. So if they're following NXT and go, well, this guy's coming, this guy's got charisma, personality, he's winning matches, winning titles, all of a sudden it puts stock into the name, whatever that name's going to be, NXT.
Yeah, great. No, I know what you mean. It's just, I can't. It just irritates because it's like you let some of them do it, and then you let some of them not do it, and it's kind of like you should have one rule for all instead of one rule for some. And like I said, he has. I know his name is trademarked and it's owned by him, but like, dude, I just looked up the list of names that they've trademarked 2 days ago, and you tell me that any of these sound better than Ricky Starks? You've got well, apart from Trill London, because it's also the coolest name ever, but like Osiris Griffin, Hayes Jameson, Trill London, Harley Riggins, Summer Sorrell, Jax Priestley, Mason Holiday. That sounds terrible in itself. Draco Knox, Tate Wilder, Braxton Cole, Chantel Monroe, or Araya Bennett. They're the most. Someone I heard this someone say they're the most AI generated names you can get for a pro wrestler. They're horrible, man. Where's the Ultimate Warrior? Where's Papa Shango, man?
Repo Man. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Look, Ricky Starks would work for me. Maybe they might go with something else. I don't know, but maybe it might. Time will tell with the name, I guess, at this point.
Yeah, and there's one thing I'd like to add about this Ricky Starks situation is that I have seen people saying that they are worried about where Ricky Starks could fit in the WWE. I mean, look at the past examples of people that have come from AEW on over to NXT. I think of Lexus King. Now, granted, Lexus King hasn't won a lot. He doesn't have the accolades that some do, but he's a heavily featured guy every single week on television. He wasn't doing that in AEW. He was a part of the Varsity Blondes wrestling on AEW Dark every other week. Ricky Starks, they kept him caged up forever in AEW, didn't let him free. We knew he was eventually going to come to WWE. Look at Ethan Page. Ethan Page came right into NXT, became a major champion. Ricky Starks is at that same level, in my opinion, as an Ethan Page.
Agreed.
I could easily see Ricky Starks coming in and then within a month or two becoming champion. Because like we said, there's not a lot of other big names that stack up to Ricky Starks right now in NXT. So I wouldn't doubt, Ricky in NXT. I think he's going to succeed tremendously.
Got to agree with a lot of that there.
He's already, from the 2 minutes he's been on screen, he's automatically one of the biggest stars in NXT at the minute. Like, he's already up there. All you've got to do is give him a microphone and the guy will deliver. He's just one guy that all he's got to do, put him on a microphone and he will put bums in seats, as they say.
Absolutely. And what role he play in NXT is going to be very exciting to see. Will he have a presence at Vengeance Day? Is another question I will ask you, gentlemen. NXT, we'll start with you.
I hope so. If anything, that will probably when we find out his name, whether he's going to be a sit in the crowd kind of guy, or again, hopefully he might get another promo segment, but they'll actually have a title card underneath him with his name. Yeah,
we'll have to see what will happen with that. Would be quite interesting. Bobby has got into the comments and said to us it's nice to see Ricky Starks on NXT. Certainly agree with that one. Who would we like to see him go against in WWE? Any dream matches you've got? You don't have to include NXT in this one.
Oh, God. I mean, obviously, I want to see him go up against Cody Rhodes at some point because I think that would be great. Dude, put him against Chad Gable. Chad Gable is like my favourite guy that can wrestle anyone at the minute. And the fact that, I know we spoke about, I texted you about the other day, and the fact that he may be going to AAA for a while, I think is great. Like, he's going to go conquer his fear of Lucha Libre wrestlers in Mexico. I think is fantastic. But yeah, give me Chad Gable versus Ricky Starks as one of his first feuds if he comes up to the main roster.
I love it. For me, CM Punk finish the story would be one I'd like to personally see. Kyle, any matches you would like to see Ricky Starks have in WWE?
Let's just throw him against The Rock, because he gets compared to The Rock all the time. Sorry, I got a tickle in my throat. I'm losing my voice. I haven't been healthy recently, so yeah, I'm losing my voice now.
Sorry, dude. We will not keep you for too much longer, but Bobby suggesting Ricky Starks versus Carmelo Hayes would be nice. That actually sounds really nice indeed. For NXT matches, obviously Trick Williams and Obafemi would be awesome to see as well. Wesley, that would be another great one. Yeah, some great matches there. Would you like to see Rusev return to WWE? I'm going to throw Aleister Black in that lineup as well.
Yes.
I'm going to say no for Rusev because I honestly don't know where he fits in. And that's my biggest worry with Rusev. Like, there's so many guys that are kind of the same as him. Like, they lost the momentum when they didn't do Rusev Day, and I wouldn't want him to come back and kind of be like how Andrade's been for the last 6 months, years. Just kind of just like he's just appeared and done several matches. I'd want him to come back and do something big. If they can find something for him creatively, yes, but that's my only worry about him. But as to Black, definitely that guy has got unfinished business in WWE. Someone's finally going to knock on that guy's door.
I was going to bring up Aleister Black too and just like lump all these guys together into one answer. We've heard the rumors, going around that they are trying to position NXT as the definitive third brand, like an equal to Raw and SmackDown. Throw Rusev and Malachi Black into NXT. I'm okay with that, at least for a year.
Yeah.
Let's have some fun.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I would not be against it either.
To be fair, Aleister Black was robbed of a lot of main events when he was champion because that was at the time when they were doing Ciampa Gargano, and every pay-per-view would be main evented by them two, and Black would always be match before as NXT champion, so he was almost robbed really. So I could see him going back there. I just think with Zelina Vega going SmackDown, he's going SmackDown.
Yeah, I would say
the one Malachi Black match that I saw for the NXT Championship, it was against Lars Sullivan. Yeah, and he was not the main event to go off your point.
That's what I'm saying. You missed the good ones against like Andrade that he had, and they were absolute killers.
Absolutely, indeed. Well, we think Ricky Starks has got a bright future in NXT, possibly WWE as well. We're excited to see what the future holds. Let us know your reaction in the comments below.